The comfort zone. It is where stability meets indifference, or at least that's how I have viewed it during a few pivotal moments in my life. I was talking to a friend the other day about my growth and how far I've come along in my own path, and it made me realize that sometimes sharing your own journey and experience with others can help those who need that extra push in their life. I'm sure you all have read some of the most popular quotes on the comfort zone, such as life begins at the end of your comfort zone. A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. You need to step out of your comfort zone. They are all the rage these days, with influencers and coaches using aspirational quotes like these to help people grow, or in some cases trying to sell them something by taking a risk to try something new. Trust me, I've seen these phrases way overused just to sell a product. Staying comfortable for a bit until you know what you want is totally fine and healthy for some. But there comes a point where staying in your comfort zone for some situations can become dangerous or harmful to yourself or others. An example can be abusive relationships, addictions, toxic workplaces, or even just wasting a lot of time doing nothing and so on. It's not always necessary to leave your comfort zone, but when things get bad enough, it becomes an absolute priority to put stability behind you in order to be safe, healthy, and happy. There comes a point where you might realize you had enough of a situation. Comfort zone meet breaking point. Out of these breaking points, this is where all the real change can begin. For me, I had to balance out what parts of my life deserved positive change and what parts can and should stay comfortable. Like I mentioned before, it's okay to be comfortable in some situations, but there are other situations where you need to determine the road you want to take in life. The analysis part of this stage in your life is just as important as the change itself. This is where you can really determine what's going to benefit you in the long run. The funniest part about being stuck in the comfort zone is that change is only scary when you're in it. Once you push past that zone and actually make the change, you realize it's not as scary as it seems. It's so easy to overanalyze and overthink a situation. I should know. Let's talk about a roller coaster of many different types of emotions, thought processes, and personality traits in one human being. And that human being is me. I'm the perfect combination of wanting stability, wanting to stay comfortable, and absolutely being anxious of failing, even if I knew I deserved more or deserved better. Back when I started my career in graphics designing, I wasn't quite sure of the road I wanted to be on. When I landed my first real job in a bank, I loved it, but along the way, I went through a few difficult experiences to get to the good ones. Early on in my career, when a job didn't offer me the growth or opportunity I was looking for, I wanted to leave to find something new, but my family and girlfriend at the time convinced me to stay at my job because it's safe, and that my dreams should stay dreams, and that I shouldn't worry about it for another 20 years and stay in a safe path and a comfortable path. And satisfied with it, but it is somewhat comfortable. It's incredibly easy to justify staying uncomfortable for the sake of stability. As I used to phrase it, do you want to stay uncomfortable and miserable just to be stable? Or would you rather be uncomfortable for a little bit to be happy in your life in the long run? I came up with so many excuses though to justify staying comfortable. Yet on the same coin, I was complaining every day, I was miserable, and I hated how things changed. I hated the monotony, I hated that the growth was offered as an opportunity, but every time I showed that I deserved better, I let others decide what I deserved, until I took matters into my own hands. I had to give myself a voice and speak up for myself. My anxiety tried to convince me of all the things that could go wrong instead of all the things that could go right if I did what was right for my growth. What if the new job doesn't last? What if I fail? What if I don't like it? What if I never find someone better? What if being alone again sucks? What if things get too hard? There's a list of what ifs that I had to shut down from my mind over time. This pretty much happened every time I left a job or a relationship, whenever I felt that I wasn't valued, appreciated, or getting what I wanted out of my life or relationship. I was very aware of the signs that would prohibit my own personal growth. However, comfort has always been my closest friend. It was what I chose because I hated feeling alone and uncomfortable. There's nothing I love and crave more than stability. However, over time, I realized that these lonely and uncomfortable feelings fade pretty quickly once you make a change that actually benefits and enriches your life. 9 times out of 10, the anxiety is coming from the comfort zone begging you to stay. Once you make the choice, it's only intimidating at the beginning. Trusting the process has always been hard for me, but I could tell you that every time I did, it was always worth it. I've had to learn to replace thought patterns and change the what ifs to the best case scenario type of thinking for my brain to calm down. That meant putting my anxiety in a corner for one day and focusing on all the things that can go right if I make that change. It's making my brain say, what if it's everything you ever wanted? What if you can finally grow into what you have been wanting to be? What if you meet great people who appreciate you and value you as a person? What if you find your soulmate? What if it's better than the last job? It's hard to view things in a positive way at times, especially when change has always been difficult for me. There were a lot of times I stayed in bad situations because I was comfortable, like bad relationships, and other times it was because I felt that I didn't deserve better or deserve true happiness. All of that was the comfort zone speaking to me. All of those limiting beliefs were lies. I did deserve better, and I did deserve happiness. I did deserve freedom and the ability to live my authentic truth. I just had to look past all of my fear and insecurities to trust in myself that I was doing the right thing, and for all the right reasons. Once I knew that, it didn't matter what could go wrong. All that mattered is that I invested in myself and took a risk for myself. Even if a job didn't work out or things changed, I could proudly say that I always put 100% into everything I did. And when I walked away, it was because I needed it for my own health, sanity, and happiness. Every situation that led me to where I'm at, I'm extremely grateful for. However, I'm more grateful that I had the courage to always do right by myself at the end of the day. As much as those comfort zone quotes have become very cliche, they're all true. It's important to realize that fear comes and goes, but once you make that push once, you can do it again. Once you tell your mind that you want better, go for it. Don't let your anxiety rob you of an amazing life that you never knew you could have if you just stayed comfortable.